Good morning. So we have about a million things we need to discuss in this video. There is a lot going on over the next week. Mother Nature has decided what she is getting the Northeast, the East Coast for Christmas, and it is winter. So let's start it off with obviously it's Christmas week. Probability of a white Christmas is now increasing dramatically over Pennsylvania. While it was less than 10%, it's now 50 to 70%. And why? Well, because we have a little Christmas wave, as I like to call it, in between a couple big storms. There's the potential Monday night, Tuesday morning, that is Christmas Eve into Christmas morning, for a weak wave of low pressure to bring a modest snowfall to most of Pennsylvania and a little mix into the big cities area, and then obviously some rain further south from that. Now, like I said, it's coming on the heels of the big storm that just departed that brought in the cold air, and then here comes the next storm after Christmas. 2 days later, it's gathering down there. It's shown presently here where over Missouri. But basically what's going to happen is it's going to come out of the Gulf, and primary low pressure comes out of the Gulf, and it can only come so far north when it's coming up the spine of the Appalachians, because there's this big block in cold air that's coming in from Canada. So what happens is low pressures take the path of easiest resistance. What happens is that primary only makes it so far, and then it cuts and it creates a coastal low, transfers its energy to the coastal storm, and the coastal storm goes up. So, what are we looking at here? Jumping into some models. This is the GFS, the ensemble run from last night. Basically, it's the model run multiple times over. I think it's like 60 times or so. But what we see here is the Christmas wave coming out of the Ohio Valley. And that blue line is representative of a rain-snow line. So what you see there in Pennsylvania is some snow, and it's not a strong system by any means, but enough to create some accumulating snow. And there you go, you got the coastal storm, or the bigger storm, the primary coming up and transferring its energy to the coast over by the Delmarva. And again, it's looking like mostly a wintry precipitation event for Pennsylvania. The question is rain or snow or ice. Jumping into, this is the operational run of the Euro last night, and basically it shows the cold air in place now, and there's your Christmas wave in the Ohio Valley, and there's no precipitation shown on this map, but wherever you see blue, it's cold enough to snow, and that's out. And then there's the big storm, and you can see that it stays cold in Pennsylvania, cold enough for snow throughout most of it, and then that departs. And now we're going to the ensemble run of the European model. There is the Christmas wave, again cold enough for snow. There you have your major storm developing in the Gulf, primary cutting up, coastal popping off the Virginia Capes, and out it goes. And in its wake, what you have is cold air, and then this is a potential New Year's storm that is just popping up, and then that goes out, and you have cold in place, and then there's the potential for another storm on the 2nd or 3rd, according to the GFS, the American model. So it's quite a busy week for chances at snow. What you see in the long term there is cold over all of the United States, replacing the areas that were warm, and I'll get into that in a minute. But we've taken a look at the two major models, the American and the European. I wanted to show you the Canadian because it shows a little bit of a different solution. Starting first, this is a couple days before Christmas. There's the Christmas wave gathering in the Ohio Valley, and again, that blue line is representative of a rain-snow line, plenty of cold air in place. There you have your modest, snowfall Christmas morning, and that starts pulling away. Now, the Canadian model does have a tendency to run a little warm. It has a warm bias, and why I'm showing this model at this particular juncture is because of how it handles the big storm. Big storm there in the Gulf of Mexico, obviously. It comes out, but you see it's not coming up the spine of the Appalachians. The model is sensing the block, and it is actually taking more of a coastal route. As you can see, the low pressure is not going through Tennessee, it's going through South Carolina, and what that leads is to that cold air stays in place, that rain-snow line never really makes it past the big cities, and you're left with a huge, huge snowstorm in Pennsylvania. And that is a scenario that I think makes a lot of sense at this point. It's going to be interesting to see how that primary plays out, and if it really does come up to through the spine of the Appalachians, and if so, how far it goes. This is the Japanese model. It's basically showing a similar thing. There's the Christmas wave here up the pink line. It's representative of a rain-snow line, but there's the Christmas wave. Christmas morning, it goes out. As you can see, some snow over Pennsylvania. Then again, see, it brings the low out of South Carolina, and then a huge snowstorm. There the low pressure is and just enough out to sea, and what you get is a huge snowfall. Now this snowfall map here is from the 0Z run last night of the American model, and what you see is heavy snow, foot 10 inches plus throughout almost all of Pennsylvania except for southeast Pennsylvania, where it is more like a 3 to 6 inch snowfall. Now this was my first call made last night before last night's model runs of the Christmas storm. Basically areas where I identify, I think, 1 inch to 4 inch amounts, and then the areas that will get the 4 inch amounts and possibly a little more. I might have to expand on some of those areas a little bit. Here is the 0Z last night's run of snowfall for the Christmas storm only, and as you can see, there's a large area that's getting over 3 inches, almost all of Pennsylvania, according to the American model. Some areas getting closer to 4 to 6 inches. And then here's how it handles the midweek storm. Again, basically, you got 7 inch plus amounts everywhere, and then some areas in western Pennsylvania getting more than a foot, western and central. So that's the snowfall threat on those two storms. I don't want to get into details on the New Year's or potential for the January 2nd or 3rd snowfall events yet either. But I did want to touch upon what's coming this month, January, for the temperatures. December's on the left there, January is on the right, and basically the areas that had the warm air, it's going to be replaced with cold. And that can be seen, there it is, the warm air over the eastern third of the United States. It's going to be replaced by cold. That's modeled, that's forecasted, and I've got a single shot of the cold here for the United States. Yeah, so there's a lot of cold coming, and yeah, I mean this is winter. Winter's coming, so basically we got cold air replacing the warm. We got 4 potential chances at snow over the next 10 days or so. And then these are global temperatures since 2009, and I ask all the climate change people and global warming people, where is the global warming? Temperature has been dropping for 3 years now. That's pretty obvious. This is something I like to touch upon every so often, just because man-made global warming is a myth. It's cyclical, and their models have been dead wrong. So the temperature's dropping, and that's reality. But that's basically it. And if you have other things to talk, anything you want to ask me, feel free to send me. Obviously, I'm going to keep things updated if there's changes. I just wanted to get a video out there explaining what we have on tap, and there's a lot over the next 10 days or so. Again, just to recap, colds come in. We have the Christmas wave. That's going to be a light to moderate event, maybe 3, maybe up to 6 inch amounts. I'm going to have to really take a look at that. And that's Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. And then on the 27th, 28th, that's the big storm. Snow, ice. Question is it 100% snow? Is it 70% snow? Is it 50% snow? And that makes a difference between 6 to 10 inch amounts. And then after that, there's the potential for the New Year's storm, and then the January 3rd storm, cold to lock in. The month of January is shaping up to be very cold. So that's basically it for now. If you have any questions, just give me a shout out, ask me. I'll make videos or post stuff as needed. Other than that, enjoy your shopping this weekend and prepare for some snow and a white Christmas. See ya.